Today, our topic is going to be the fourth precept. What is the fourth precept now, folks? Not lying, which means Musavada Veramani. It is a very, I hope this is the most interesting topic. Kind of a light level of akusala that a lot of people think, but this could happen always, like panatipata, killing, or adinadana, stealing, kamasamichachara, misbehaving, suramerya, I would say being intoxicated. These are very specific, very specific occasions. But Musavada is just, you just say something and then you break it, right? Just a very small thing that you may use to break it. So we should take enough caution, and then we should see how Musavada works in different easy and difficult situations. Because when things are very easy, there is a high chance, high probability where we're going to make mistakes. In most difficult places, we might take a moment, sit back and take a moment that should I say or not. All right, I think I see some of you who are kind of new to this. I think I haven't seen you for this Sunday, couple of last Sundays. So just to get things rolling, I would ask you some very basic questions. Because Musavada is part of Sila, Samadhi, Panya, where does Musavada fall into in one of these three? Sila, Samadhi or Panya? Sila. It falls into Sila. Let's say tonight you have a meditation and you make a lie in the morning. Will this affect your meditation at night? It could be. It could be. Because you think about, oh, I couldn't avoid that particular thing. That means Sila is very important for Samadhi, meditation. Some people do not think. They think just sit down and close eyes and, oh, now we're all right. It can be. That is Western meditation. Western mindfulness, they don't practice that much Sila. They might, but they do not encourage Sila a lot. Because Western society, people do not like to say, hey, don't do this, do this. They don't like that attitude. They just think we want to do anything what we want. Just do it. That is a normal norm. But in the Buddhist meditation, Buddhist practice of cultivating kusala thoughts, Sila should be the starting point, but not be the ending point. Some people, they start with Sila, they end up with Sila. They do not move to the next level, Samadhi, and then to the Panya. Some people keep meditating, never come to wisdom. They stuck in the Samadhi practice, Jhana practice. All these are issues. Spiritual troubles in their practices. So, Sila. So, Musavada falls into Sila. What is Sila? We have many words for that, many translations. Some people translate Sila to be morality. Some people translate this to be ethics. Some people translate this to be virtue. All these come from English language. You might pick up any translation that took interest in your reading or whatever. But Sila basically means taking care of your body and speech, bodily activities and verbal activities. You are not going to kill, steal, misbehave, and then there are 4 activities that are regarding the speech. What are they? Not lying, the exact topic that we will be discussing today, Musavada Veramani. And then, what are the other bad things that we will make through our speech? It goes by an order. Second is Pisuna Vacha. Pisuna Vacha means not talking behind the back. Slandering. You talk something in front of other people, but behind the curtain you go and make a mess, right? That is a bad virtue. Maybe an easy thing to do, but it is a bad virtue, not good for our practice. That breaks our integrity. Third one, as you said, harsh speech. Parusa vacha, parusa. That means hurtful words. This could be culturally hurtful. This could be racially hurtful, which politicians always use just to get things going, political campaigns. And this could be hurtful in your relationships. This could be hurtful in many other ways. Pejorative, hurtful. We have to avoid, depending on the place where we are. And then, last bad activity which you may do through your speech is sampappalapa. Sampappalapa means frivolous talk. What is frivolous talk? Wasting your time and engaging in unmeaningful talks, untimely talks, gossiping. Almost in our own jargon, it is gossiping. And when you talk about gossiping, there is another word pops up. What is it? Idle chatting. Now it's 10:20, we have more 10 minutes, let's talk something. So we just want to spend time by talking something. And there's no reason why you want to talk about it. Right? I mean, I'm not talking about your personal relationship, the time you spend with your mother, father, your beloved ones. Yes, you will find different topics to discuss. But in our life, we should not spend our time by wasting our precious moments. Right? So, now you understand, taking care of your bodily activities and verbal activities is what we call by sila. Right? So, Musavada Veramani is a part of sila, which is a must to all of us. Now, how do we understand this? Musa. Musa means something that was not happen. Right? Something that was not happen. So in the text, there are different ways of looking at Musavada Veramani. Now one framework is that they call it Bhuta Musa, Abhuta Musa, Bhuta Satcha, Abhuta Satcha. You might be perplexed, what is this? Bhuta. What is Bhuta? B-H, long U, then T-A, Bhuta. Bhuta means, now we find it, Bhutava Sambhavesiva Sabbe Satta Bhavantu Sukhitatta. Where is it? In your chanting book, where is it? Bhutava Sambhavesiva Sabbe Satta Bhavantu Sukhitatta. Can you think about where you found this? Metta Sutta. Bhutas. What is Bhuta over there? This means kind of a being. Bhutava, Sambhavesiva. Bhuta means beings who are still living with us. That means we all are Bhutas. Right? When I said this in a Dhamma talk in a Dhamma school way back in Canada, probably 2013 or 14, there was a teenager who came up to me after the talk, said, Bhante, my father calls me sometime, you are a Bhuta. The Sinhala way of, Sri Lankan way of calling Bhuta is somebody who is not properly positioned very well in that. I said, it's not that Bhuta I'm talking about. That is a cultural version of Bhuta. Right? And some people call it to be ghost. Some other ways of explaining. Bhuta means a ghost. But Bhuta here in Pali directly means any being who has not passed away. Right? Then what do we call for the people who passed away? Somebody passed away yesterday, long time ago. How do we call them? If the living beings are Bhutas, then how do we call the departed ones? I'm kind of twisting the things, thinking. They are called as Peta. P-E-T long A, Peta. Bhuta are the living ones. Petas are the gone ones, departed ones. For us, they are departed, but they are already born somewhere in Buddhism. But for us, we don't know where they were now. Then there are another type of beings in the Metta Sutta. Bhutava sambhavesi. Sambhavesi. He's checking the sutta, right? Okay. Sorry, I'm not using slides for Sunday talks. Only for the sutta study I use because people have to read. Sambhavesi. Sambhavesi means those beings who passed away looking for another birth but not yet born. They are the ones called Sambhavesi. In science, we call it, I would say, zygote, but this is a little complicating. That means once you departed from the body, you are more genius. You know that? Now, don't try to make it faster. Right? It is said in some of the experimental research, once you leave the body, you are so genius, you are more genius than now, because at that time you have to find another birth. You must be very genius, right? Not like today, not like now. You don't know where you're going after that. You only know this life. It is said that sometimes you as a Sambhavesi go into somebody's womb, let's say another lady's womb, and then what happened, you feel it is not good for you, then you come back. Then we call it a miscarriage. Interesting, right? In the Abhidhamma it says. You go into a womb and you feel this is not my place where I want to grow as a being. Come back. And then the couple or those people think, what happened? I was pregnant, but now it's a miscarriage. What happened? It was a miscarriage. There is no spiritual reasons to question about it. But Abhidhamma says, the being has gone back. And then sometimes there are two beings going to, there's one being who goes in there and then later change. We call it kind of a transgender kind of a thing, right? So a lot of things to learn. But anyways, I was trying to say this Bhuta, Peta, Sambhavesi. Now I am trying to connect this to our conversation. Now Bhuta here, according to the Musavada context, means something that really happened. Okay? I can say I talk about Bhuta. That means I talk only the things that happen, true stuff. So the first aspect of the classification is Bhuta Musa. That means it really happened, but that person lies. Does it happen always? This happens for the good sake or for the bad sake. Right? That means there is somebody who lies. Actually, it happened, but that person lies. This is what we know formally. Second one is Abhuta Musa. The thing didn't happen, but that person says it happened. Right? Now, I will give you a kind of a hint. You go into a restaurant, and then you are now consuming, you are enjoying your food, but you are not very much happy. Maybe something is not good for you. And whoever the people are serving you, asking you, how was the food? Good. You don't want to offend anybody, right? Right? And then you get to compliment somebody's something. Oh, you look good, but that person looks not good. but you simply say, you're good, you're okay, you know? Because some other people always try to say, you're not good, see you, you know. You have sort of gone out of, you have let go of yourself. Aren't you not taking care of yourself very well? Some people are very direct, some people. But some others, they try to make other people happy, you know, even just by words. But so it's called Abhuta Musa. Right? Abhuta Musa. Didn't happen, but lie. And the last two are Bhuta Satcha. That means Bhuta Satcha means it happened and then you say in the same way. same way or in a better way that is good for the people or situation. And then abhuta satcha thing didn't happen, but you speak the truth, naked truth, where a lot of people get into arguments sometimes. Even you have to speak the truth according to the time, place. It's not like a TV channel, right, which is not censored very much. They just broadcast everything what they see. There must be a censorship, otherwise different people will get affected differently. Especially reporting some deaths, murders, kind of stuff. Not everybody can take them easily, right? So, according to the Buddha, he says, Bhuta Satcha and Abhuta Satcha, they are okay. Because your intention is to speak the truth. Because it happened, then you are speaking the same happened truth. And then Abhuta Satcha, it didn't happen, but you still want to make the situation okay. I mean, let's say you want to speak the truth. Now the compliments that did not really work also can fall into this and the musa too. But the Buddha says, if you are going to lie, that is a problem. But in some places, the Buddha says, you have to consider a lot of things before talking. We will be talking about those things gradually. Now, does this connect to Paritta chanting? What do you call chanting? Does the discussion of Musavada Veramani, abstaining from lying, connect to the chanting? Have you ever thought that way? Is it? Are you guys all chanting, huh? Since the day you get to know Buddhism, huh? No, I'm asking, 5 precepts are not chanting, right? I'm asking, does the abstaining from Musavada, I would say the 4th precept, connect to the chanting activity? Chanting text and the whole chanting, because you all like chanting, right? Huh? Yes, how? Huh? It's about the truth. How do we particularly locate it? At the end of each sutta, it says, Etena Satcha Vajjena. You got it, huh? See? Takes time to calibrate. By the power of this asseveration, this truth, may your sufferings go away. By the power of this noble asseveration, truthfulness, may your fears go away, may your sicknesses go away, may your sufferings go away. Then the most important part of a chanting text is this asseveration, not the text itself. And then if you go to Ratana Sutta, take a look. Yang kinchi vittang idava hurangva sagge suayang ratanam panitang nano samang atti tathagatena idampi buddhe ratanam panitang. Whatever the articles that are existing everywhere in this whole universe, among those articles, the article called Buddha cannot be compared to any of those articles. And then idampi buddhe ratanam panitang etena satchena suatti hotu. This is the truth. By the power of this truth, may you be well. See, Satcha is very much connected to the chanting. Right? And I will give you a story. This story is mentioned in one of the Kuddaka Nikaya books. I think it's Itibuttaka Pali. There was a couple, they had a baby. They wanted to see a hermit, I would say sage, tapasa, ascetic, up in the mountain. They thought, we're going to bring our baby to the monastery over there. Non-Buddhist ascetic actually. Going to ask him to bless our baby. So now they started journey. And then on the way, what happened? They were resting and a cobra came out and then attacked the baby. Now they were very upset about everything, you know. And they rushed to the temple and then told the ascetic, dear reverend or whoever, ascetic, our baby was attacked by a cobra, almost going through a very bad time now. Can you please bless our son, a baby? It's a very real-time blessing. Huh? Normally people come to the temple just to get ahead of the problems. Real-time blessing. Now they are seeing what's going to happen now. Now the ascetic is to bless. You come to the temple earlier of your problems. Problems come to you maybe late, right? You get the strength and everything. And then the ascetics, he said, I've been only a monk or ascetic for 15 years. I took care of my practice very well. I haven't broken my practice, whatever the practice. By the power of that practice, the assertion of that truth, may your son or baby get back to normal. Then it is said, the poison of the cobra that was spread across the body of the baby came from head to the chest. Why it did not go down? The ascetic explained. See, I did my part, but this is what I can do. Now you both have to bless too. That means everyone can bless. Right? Then, the lady started the asseveration, and she said, after some time of the marriage, I stopped loving you. By the asseveration of that truth, may our baby get back to normal. he got to know that at that time. But it was true. Maybe something happened in their relationship. It slipped. The love slipped. Then it said the poison of the cobra went from chest to the, to the thighs. But still there is some poison. Then the man started blessing, doing the asseveration. I have no anger, hatred toward the cobra who stung our baby. Actually, he didn't have any anger. He's a good gentleman. Not easily can keep that kind of a good mind. By the power of that truth, may our son or baby get better. And the poison went out. Now see, this is an interesting story. That means blessing has a certain technical way to spread out. Right? That means satya. Satya means, let's say someone did a bad thing. If that person is going to confess, it is the truth. That is the naked truth. There is power, it's truth. Truth has power. Even when the Shakyamuni Buddha, going to become the Buddha, Mara gave him lots of troubles. Right? Remember what happened with Mara and the Buddha? Mara said, I am not letting you become the Samma Sambuddha. He then sent his 10 armies. He had 10 very powerful armies. One of the armies is hunger. Now when you are hungry, that means it's an effect of the Mara. Because you have to eat all the time, right? That is the worst sickness in Buddhism. Jigacha parama roga. Because you always have to eat. Now you eat and then lunchtime you have to eat. Then you go for a snack. Yeah, eat, keep eating. But Devas don't eat like that. They don't have this kind of body. Very smooth body. They can't eat. That's why when they die, their bodies do not stay there. They disappear too. Soft bodies, very subtle bodies. Because we have a rough body, we go for karmas, sensual pleasures so much. Because they are rough. Our, Patavi. Patavi means, I would say, those levels of elementary levels are very high. So then what happened? Mara sent 10 armies. None of them could persuade the Buddha to, go out of the practice. Then he sent his beloved 3 daughters. Nothing happened. He was very calm and everything. And then Mara asked a question, how come are you going to become the Buddha? Because he knew that he would be becoming the Buddha now. Okay, the great earth has testimony, evidence. And then he touched the great earth. And there was a massive tremor. Because the great earth knew everything, what he did for many, many trillion, billions of years, lifetimes. That means Satya. That means this great earth knows everything, because people do bad things by being on the great earth. Right? That means Satya. Another story I want to share with you, just to tell you the importance of Musavada. This is called, it's a Jataka story. In this Jataka story, Bodhisattva is a student of the famous Takkasila, right? Takkasila. Now, this is a part of Gandhara now. Gandhara is in the northern Afghanistan now. You know, like the ancient Oxford at that time. People, the children of the very classic people, they sent to Takkasila at that time. It's a very expensive place. So they study. And once, one of the teachers in this place, he wanted to do kind of a check with his students. He said, if one of you goes to your house and then steals something and then come back faster, I will give my daughter to that young man. And then the boys were really, you know, they were messed up. They ran, but there was one guy who was just very still, very calm. And he asked, didn't you hear me? I told something to go to your houses and take something from your house without letting your parents know, and then bring it to me. I will give my daughter. He said, no, that doesn't work. He said, why? Even you go to your house or whatever, you steal something without letting your parents or whoever know, but there is one group of people who are observing us all the time, even you lock the door. He was like, who are they? Rukkha Devata, tree spirits. He was very confused about that statement. He said, yes, this guy is the Bodhisattva, Shakyamuni Bodhisattva. They are watching over you. They don't do anything, but they know what you are doing. That means, although you see that, hey, now smile, you are on camera, but the biggest camera is with the tree spirits. They watch you. They watch what you do. Otherwise, how come your karmas are being calculated for your next lives? People are watching you. If you are a good person, you might see other people do not notice you. You are just doing a good thing, offering dana or doing something. Nobody knows. You don't promote it. But you are getting all the good karma. Sometimes you feel you have a narrow escape, almost going to hit by another car, an accident, but you are safe. Something happened. Some other beings are with you. They are trying to help you. They help you. It's true. It is said that three devas are with each individual. One is one of the parents in a previous life. Second is one of the teachers of a next life, in a previous life. And then the house deva. This is a normal thing even in the text, if you see. So the reason why I tell is that you are being monitored by them. Forget about the cameras, CCTV cameras. So I'm telling that if you are a truthful person, you have the protection. The true protection, don't worry. You will see how it works for you. Anyway, so these stories were told to you just to tell you the importance of the truth. Now I said about 4 framework. I said always try to speak the truth. Now let's talk about some of the complications with the truth. On April 1st, people think that we should lie. Why is it? Huh? The day after fool, and they are asking you to be a fool. Huh? Is it? Or are you going to fool somebody? Why is it? Why you are sort of asked in a way that, hey, make a lie. Don't worry. Why is it? Huh? April Fool. Anybody else? Why there is a notion that you can lie on the 1st of April? Huh? It's the day to lie, just as that people speak the truth for the rest of the days. Right? It doesn't work that way. Sorry? It's a joke. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's take the word white lie. Right? White lie. What is white lie? Huh? Yes. Not to hurt the other person. That means telling something in good faith may be a wrong thing. Compassionate life, really? You attach compassion. Okay. Can we, simple question. Can we always speak the truth? Can we? Huh? It is tough. Yes or no? Can we speak the truth all the time? If you are not going to be honest, you can't practice the Dhamma journey. Can you? The simple answer that I see from your faces, which you don't want to say sometimes, is it's yeah. That's a complementary side. Yeah, complementary. I would say just not to offend anybody. But normally in our life, in your daily chores, house, work you are not supposed to lie. Yeah, it's a big serious issue. Work ethics. But normally in our normal life, what about there are 99% of liars in this society? Can you be a very truthful person? Because you are juggling with the liars. Most of them are liars, but you are the only, maybe you and a couple of people are truthful people. Can you work with? Can you just exist with them? Huh? Yeah, let's talk about such later. I mean, let's talk about our normal life, daily life. Assume this society, if many people, I'm not saying everybody, if many people are to lie, can you survive being a truthful speaker? Because you have to work with them. Let's say on the road, you are driving. If many people are driving bad, they are not following the driving code, right? They are not turning the signals, putting the signal, but they turn the signal to the left, but they didn't turn to the right. And you are confused, what's going on here? And they are speeding, but you are going on, let's say, you are going on the right speed, at right speed. But somebody is trying to speed up. Maybe many people are trying to speed up. That means a society where more people might be not doing what they are supposed to do, but only a couple of them. In a society where 99 people trying to become good people, can a bad person survive too? Not that easy. But in a society where 99 people, like majority of the people are liars in our context, can a truthful person survive? Little difficult. Because he has to go to see them, they have to work with them, right? It's difficult. Then how do we implement our practice of satya? That one we have to discuss, right? Because we can talk about the text. Text don't talk about the difficult situations, conditions. Text say lying is bad. But people are having actual real situations to juggle with it. But text says lying is bad. So how do we then go ahead with that? Does the Buddha talk about the divorce? Does he say that if you cannot stay with somebody, you go divorce? He doesn't talk about it. Because he only talks about an ideal society. But if there is not an ideal society, then there are things that we have to discuss according to the time. Okay, how to survive? Let's say now situations like you don't want to offend anybody. Then what you're going to do is that you're going to say that was not true. That was not true. I would say abhuta satya. It's okay. But you should understand one day you have to tell the truth to that person. One good example. Now it's a very interesting example. Like somebody is trying to follow another person and going to attack that person. Maybe with a knife, with a gun, depending on the place where you're living. And that person managed to find a house. And then knock the door and say somebody is trying to follow me, and then I don't know, I'll be in a trouble now. Can you please let me in? He said, yes, please come on in. I'm a very good person. I help everybody. So you go under the table, maybe under the bed. You can hide over there. Then the attacker also noticed that this person went inside that house. Then he knocked in. He asked him, did somebody like this come in? Do you let in? Okay, yes, I never lie to anybody. I'm a truthful person since day one in my life, if he can manage. Yes, he came in, I let him in. He is under that bed. Now what's going to happen? What will happen now? That person is going to really harm that person. Then should we lie or should we speak the truth? Huh? We have to lie. Definitely. But that is not the lie regarding the Musavada. That is called Abhuta Satcha. We have to protect life of everybody. Right? Not like those who have the compulsive lying. Every time when you ask, are you hungry? No, I'm good. Did you go somewhere? No, I didn't go. He went. She went. Right? Not those compulsive liars. This one, you are wise. Your intention is to protect every being. Such a very noble thing. One day, if the attacker is in good terms, you can say, yes, I did it because I want to protect that person. So lying or speaking the truth, do not merely go by the surface truth, surface lie. It has to go beyond that one and then to protect everyone's lives first. How much good karmas we are creating by protecting someone's life? We're creating lots of good karmas. Right? I look at some people die at an early time. Right? So there are reasons. You have to do a lot of things for that. So that is one way. That means the lie has to be understood in the context of a bigger picture. What are the other complicated areas of lying? This is one place. So now you can relate yourself to that. Other places, you are asking a teenager, why you come late? Let's say you are a parent, you ask a teenager, why you come late? But the teenager lies. Maybe he has gone somewhere, she has gone somewhere. She lies. That is a different level of lying. But there is somebody who is lying to you just to mislead you in a bad way. That is very worse. Right? Maybe a baby dropped a tumbler. Saying, who broke it? Said, I don't know. Right? But he is the one who did it. That lying and teenagers lying and adults lying to mislead somebody, they are three different cases to understand. Right? So, we have to understand. So, as I said earlier, we have to be always looking at the bigger picture of the thing. Right? Even the what do you call, you know the Maha in Sri Lanka, right? The Maha, the largest stupa, we call the Ratnamali Chaitya. It was not finished before the passing away of the king, Duttagamini. And the brother had to lie. He said, now the Chaitya is fully done. Actually, it was not done. Right? Sometimes we have to be very careful about it. Actually, always. What are the other things? Corporate lying, marketing guys. They lie a lot. They cheat us. They say, we have a product from Himalayas, Ayurvedic products. They found it from somewhere, nearby. Right? And they say, this is organic. Same food. They just put up something over there. But there are good people too. There are good people too. They really do well, but most of them could be lying to us. Scammers, they are liars. What are the other liars that we see in our society? How are we going to take care of us from them? Politicians, they always lie to us. But can we stop them lying? No, we cannot them. So we have to get together to understand the lie and then to respond to them in a good way. Vote. August 12th. Go for it. Do your things. But unfortunately, some people are not benefited well. But they still go for the lies. Still want to maintain the lies. Everywhere in the world. When the religion becomes a predominant thing, ethnic problems become a predominant thing, these things can happen. Anywhere in the world, people have to be very careful. And other sections, corporate world, personal life, corporate world, and then political side, and what else? Do the religious teachers lie to you? Do they lie to you? Telling that there is a next life, do good things here now, you will get everything in the next life? Do they lie? They don't lie, they're not supposed to lie. But some people, they create their own version of the next life. Go die, next life you will get this and that. Spiritual crimes. It can come in the good form also. Lies are not always hurtful. Huh? Some people might lie to you in a very good, nice way. So you should not be fooled by them. What else? What are the other sections of lying? Cheating. Cheating in a relationship. Is it Musavada? Yes. Is it? Why do people cheat? Greed. They want to go for more. They are not settled down. So, unless you settle down, never ever be with somebody. You are on hunting. Right? That is something to think about. And then, are students going to cheat in their exams, in their assignments, research papers? Yes, we call a name for them. Plagiarism. They copy and then paste. They say, this is my paper, Now, there are people now who write your papers. What they do is the same thing. They copy up from other people, they paste and then give a paper to you and you pay for them. Finally, you are being found by the colleges. Now, the colleges have all the softwares. How about Google? Does Google help us telling the lies? Now, there are different apps. Give me a name, I will do the rest. Give me a topic, I will do the rest. Right? Well, these things can happen. Maybe they are very easy things for many people. But we have to know our own practice. Let's say, as a very good Buddhist, maybe as a good human, how can we practice the abstinence of Musavada? Number one is that we have to understand our life in a bigger picture. We have to create good relationships. We have to be honest to us. We have to plan our life from now, maybe many years from today, right? And then we should not give bad, fake promises to anybody, right? And then when we act with other people, we have to be very careful because we should not tell them the lie. But if situations go differently, then we have to understand how to talk to them. The Buddha says in one of his suttas, whatever we talk has to be timely, kalena, right? Timely speech. Whatever we talk has to be pleasant. Whatever we talk has to be pleasant and truthful. Whatever we talk has to be done with metta. These are very important things. Speaking in metta. Now, this is something that you can notice on a daily basis, right? So, we have to be very careful with our speech so we can then minimize the Musavada part. I like to hear some questions. So, now is the time. Yeah.
Just now about the lies, right? What if in the world, everybody tend to say you have to be positive. But sometimes you have to be positive, you might be lies, right? You want to make everyone happy. So how you differentiate between negativity and positive? Negativity, is that considered truth? But positive, is that lies? I just how we want to differentiate these two terms. Thank you, Bhante.
Good. In the working ethics, we know we are asked to be positive because they want to run the company through us. Right? They want everybody to have a smile, but a lot of things happening behind the scene. So what I say is that, yes, you have always a choice to go for this company or not. It's like that you are working, let's say, somebody is working for a company where human trafficking is happening. But the person who is working for the receptionist post doesn't know about this thing. But it's a human trafficking company. They have a good office, there is a dealer, there is a contractor and whoever. But that person doesn't know who is working as a receptionist. But the day he or she learns about it, she has a choice to leave the company. One thing is that if you think the working ethics are not really good for you, you always have a choice. Let's say you can't do it, you can't find a job, COVID time, maybe you are not able to make a career choice now, you are not able to do it, you have other family commitments. At that point, try to reduce that lying part and try to give the positivity in good ways. And you make sure that I'm not lying, but I'm positive to other people, maybe to other colleagues and to my work. I think it is possible. Now, can you give me one very specific example of how you are supposed to be positive in the workplace? One small example. Mm-hmm. Okay, but you are not the person who is behind that scene, right? Maybe the boss. You are not authorized to express any views. You are not a part of it, but you know it. The things you know it. That's it. Otherwise, you have nothing. So I think it should be okay because you are not a part of it, because you can't change the company. Company is under your boss, right? So I don't think there is a problem. But I think if we look at that way, how many things are happening in our life? These politicians, companies, we know that they are doing wrong things, right? Even food industry, even in big pharma, right? Even in the hospitals, many things. A lot of things are happening. We wish that may these people understand the truth and then be better people to other people, clients or customers. So if you are not becoming a part of that cohort, that wrong conversation, that Musavada thing, that vicious attacking, maybe that conversation, you should be okay. But if you are supposed to be involved in that cohort repeatedly, I don't think it's a good place for you to stay in. So we always have a choice, but make the choice with having a second plan. Do not just quit the place without any other opportunity, right? Maybe you might do, if it is too much, if it is going to really bad, give you some bad ideas about yourself, your true self, one day you can think about moving to another company or something. But according to what you explained, I don't think there is a big issue over there. They simply know, but they all try to pass the bucket, right? But they all know. You are not a part of it, but you wish something good happen in our company. Everyone, yeah. And plus companies are running between income and expenses, so they are trying to, so it's not moral, huh? If a company is only thinking about income and expenses, there is no moral element unless you are trying to apply into that window. They might try to break even the budget, right? But there are people who try to apply the moral part too. Anyways, you should be good. All right.
What if someone asks you a question and you choose to stay silent or change the topic, which can seem rude?
If you are really an evading person, if you really try to evade from something that you are supposed to say that is okay to other people, that is a problem. But I think we should not answer to everybody, because even Buddha did that. You know that? There are 10 questions. Buddha said, no, I'm not going to answer them. Then somebody asked why? Because they are not helpful for your spiritual journey. They are not beneficial for your end in the dukkha journey. What are the questions? Is this universe limited or unlimited? Then he said, what is the purpose of that answer to that question? That is not necessary. He simply quoted one story actually. The story was Rohitasa's story. I don't know whether you know that. Rohitasa is a Devaputta. And he came to see the Buddha. He said, Bhante, in my previous life, I was an ascetic with a lot of powerful things. I can levitate, I can go anywhere. I was a very much talented skywalker. So one day, I thought I want to go to the end of the universe. Right? Now, it's also scientifically interested area. Then he said, okay, I'm going to do, but I will only stop for eating, going to washroom, taking a rest. All other times, I'm going to skywalk and find in the end of this universe. Then he said, Bhante, what happened? Halfway of my journey, I died. Then the Buddha said, yes, that's right. The real world exists not outside, it's inside. In this one fathom body which has perception. Dukkha Arya Satcha, Dukkha Samudaya Arya Satcha, Dukkha Nirodha Arya Satcha, Dukkha Nirodha. Find that world. Find the end of that world, not the end of that one. He said, nobody can go to the end of the universe. It's so massive. You're not talking about the earth, okay? He doesn't talk about this earth. There are multiple earths like this. 10,000 worlds like this, like human worlds. He's talking about a galaxy, this world systems, which are under the universe. Universe, is universe limited? That's an irrelevant question. I'm not going to answer that. That's not beneficial. So definitely you can have a choice. But if you give me a specific question, I can think about it. What kind of question that you thought that you would evade? Just walk away.
So let's say someone says, okay, how much do you earn a month?
Yes.
For example, right?
That's such a very unnecessary question.
Yeah,
Right?
so you can just say, hey, it's a nice weather.
Oh, nice weather, yeah. It's good.
Your reply could change the topic.
Okay. Yes, I think those are ethics, common sense. I think we don't have to answer. How old are you? I mean, I don't know. Western countries, they get really mad. How old are you? And then how much you make? That's a very irrelevant question, because if you are okay, then that's fine, Go for it. Maybe you will politely change the topic, and then he or she get not that much upset, embarrassed. Yeah, weather is good. Yes, that is very smart and wise. I don't think that you are making any akusala, because plus you haven't said anything to that question. You just change the topic. So yeah, be smart. That is a good way of not creating opportunities to lie. Now you are being driven to lie, right? Nobody is going to say the real salary. That is a relevant question. But you are not lying. I think an unwise person might say a wrong number of calculation. So that is a place where you are driven to lie, but you're very smart and you change the topic to be a kusala person. Very good. So we have to take that approach to all the other personal life situations, even work life situations, everywhere. It's very good. Yes.
Yeah, Bhante, what about question with a question? Let's say he asks you about your salary.
Yeah.
So you ask him back.
Yes.
Why do you ask?
If it is not very tough on that person. Because one thing we have to remember is that while we are protecting us, we should not be mean to other people, Maybe that person simply asked the question, how much you earn, right? Not just, maybe there are people who want to know it, but there are people who simply ask because he or she is not very much into that understanding. So why we want to be very bad to them after that? Just because somebody was mean to me, why I'm going to mean to that person? Just because that person's bad behavior, why I want to be an evil person? That's not necessary. So I simply want to, that way is better, but this way, that person will never ask you a question again. When you ask another question, maybe you might ask, what's the purpose of knowing my salary? That's being very direct, but that is a smart approach. Yeah, you ask, yes, the back.
Bhante, the definition of akusala, some people they define as if that's not creating any bad consequences, then it doesn't commit anything. Is that
Okay.
acceptable? Yeah. Some people define it in this way.
Okay. Spiritual path cannot be only seen from visible things, only seen by visible things. Let's say I make a lie, nobody is hurt, so I'm okay. No, it is your consciousness, you're creating bad karma. It's your consciousness. Because we are dealing with not what is happening outside only. There may be sometimes outside stuff, but we are dealing with our karma within us. You lie to yourself. You know that I lied. Not good for me. You are suffering a lot. You are struggling a lot. So then that will definitely stop your meditation. Definitely affect your meditation. Definitely affect your cultivating the kusala practices. That is not a kusala way of thinking about the kusala. So it is we are not doing kusala only by looking at what will happen in this life, because karmas are very invisible. We never know how they are going to create results. Nobody can say. Buddha said, if you think too much about karma, you're going to be a mentally sick person. In one sutta. And he said there are 3 or 4 things people should never think too much, overthink. One is Buddha. If somebody is thinking too much about the Buddha, that person will become a mentally sick person. Ah yes, this is a sutta. I can't remember the sutta and say maybe Sangyutta Nikaya or Anguttara Nikaya. If somebody is thinking too much about the mind, going to be a mentally sick person. And we have seen such people everywhere. They studied a lot and then now the studying affected their general mind. And also karma. We only talk about in a balanced way, and then that is it's not good to continue that conversation that much, because we don't have capacity to understand. In the same way, if somebody says, no, there are no bad, nobody is affected, so I can do it, that's a wrong perception about it. Yeah, one more question.
Bhante, last question about the point about compassionate lying. Okay, when you are ugly and I say you look very good, is that a Musavada?
No, I think that is again abhuta satcha. I said bhuta satcha, bhuta satcha means things happen, things are existing, and then you speak the truth.
But in the speaker's mind, he knows he's lying,
Yeah.
and that will work on his
Intention.
mind.
Intention is the main thing there. Not I said not the surface thing. Now here again we go back to the intention, chetana. Your chetana is the main thing, right? It's not like you go somebody you slap and said I love you. That slap is the mark of love. No, it's not that way, right? People go haywire this way, right? Sometimes we make mistakes. Why not? We say kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya. We say at the end of puja, right? May the Buddha forgive me for any mistakes I did with pamada by my body, speech. So, right? So in terms of I better we wouldn't call a name compassionate lying, so people might get ready. Okay, I'm gonna lie now under compassion. But maybe let's think this way. My intention is good. In difficult times, I have to pass that moment that way. Sometimes if we can change the topic, that's a good way. If we can ask another question, that is also a good approach. But there are times we cannot do none of these. We are stuck and that person is trying to invade us, trying so much questions, and we are stuck. We don't think we are moving anywhere. We might try that point at that point. I think kind of a worst case scenario. So even that, your intention should be good, because one day, I hope this is going to work. And so try to speak the truth. If you can't speak the truth, then try these approaches and finally go for it if those things don't work. So compassionate lying is not the first approach, right? So, and there are sometimes bold-faced truth. That means everybody knows this is lying. Yeah. Anyways, so try to speak the truth. If you are driven to those situations where you are asked to lie, you can practice some of the good ways, like you said, changing the topic, maybe walking away, maybe read questions, there may be other approaches too. Anybody knows other approaches? Practical approaches you practice in your life? I don't think you are always dealing with truthful people. You may be dealing with liars too, right? Why not? What steps do you take other than those two? You may have different...
Walk away.
Huh?
Walk away.
Walk away, yeah. So walk away, let's say... Okay, let's take this way. Change the topic. Read questions. And then walk away. Then compassionate lie. That will be a good way to think about it. So our primary response is not lying, even in good intention. All right, any more questions? Okay. Give me, he's going to pass the mic to you.
Thank you. Bhante, good morning. Sorry. Yes. Good morning, Bhante. I just want to ask you, just now you say for living people is Buddha, right? Mean Buddha. Then the Peta is it good being or bad being? Peta.
No, Peta generally means, Peta generally means people who passed away. We don't categorize them to be good or bad. Now, when your mother passes away, she becomes a Peta.
Oh, Peta.
When anybody passes away, she becomes a Peta. Inside the Peta category, there may be different Petas. Good Petas, bad Petas, yes. Yeah, there may be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sadhu.
Normally we say everyone who passed away we call Peta.
There's an intermediate stage, is it? You mean?
No, in Theravada Buddhism, actually in Buddhism, no. Now this is given by the Vajrayana Buddhism. Tibet Buddhism, they talk about a state called Bardo, B-A-R-D-U. They say, even in Mahayana Buddhism, some places, that when someone passes away, that person goes into the Bardo state. Stay there for a couple days and then go into another one. In early Buddhism, no. Early Buddhism, when you pass away, in that moment, you're going to take your Patisandhi Chitta, your next mind. You die with the Chotichitta. Once, in that instant, you're going to be reborn. So now, when people keep asking me, there is no intermediate state, I would call it depending on the quality of that life. Let's say somebody was born in an animal life as a dog. Very miserable dog on the streets, everybody is trying to pelt stones at him. Then, yes, we call it a state until he goes into a good life. So the dog will not be going to be reborn in a better place just because he is a dog, because dogs do not have a lot of good mind to practice, don't have a thinking mind. They have a mind, but not a thinking mind. Maybe a good karma from a previous life, because this was a human. So, there is no intermediate state in early Buddhism. So we believe everybody is born. Even that person becomes a ghost, it is also a part of the realm. Peta becomes a ghost. Peta becomes a human. There is no intermediate state.
Oh, that means it's not in one of the 31 planes of existence. Is it
No, there are
one of the planes?
Good question. Now we generally say everybody who passes away Petas. And there are also 4 types of Petas in Buddhism. 4 types of Petas. There are specific Peta places. Let's say everyone has to transit this point. But some people cannot transit. They just stay there. Right? When you are supposed to transit at an airport, if you're going to stay in the airport for more than 24 hours, you will be overstayed. Right? Immigration will take you. Some people are like that, especially for people who you want to give dana, transference of merits. They should be the transited people who are expecting to transit. Other folks already gone. They become a manusa, human, deva, they already gone. So the good karmas you gave, you never know who they are now, you gave to them are in excess for them. Whenever they want, they can come and get it. But if you want to really transfer mentally, you transfer by pouring water, they will really reach to them only when they are in one of the Peta worlds. We call it Paradatta Upajivi. There are 4 Peta worlds specific. Last one is called Paradatta Upajivi, which means they are waiting for the next flight. I mean, the good karmas from their beloved ones. Other people don't think about them. Let's say somebody passed away. Okay, I'm waiting for good karmas from my son, my daughter, but they are not thinking about me. You know, that's why children must do that activity. You know, because we never know. Maybe they are in there. Maybe they have already gone, left, and then born in a good place. Whatever you do, wherever they are getting good karmas. Don't worry about it. One day or at that point.
Thank you.
All right.
Sadhu.
Okay, so let's then wrap this up. May all the good karmas be transferred to all these individuals, not even them, but also any other departed ones who passed away in your name, in this life and in past lives. May they be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idammi ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayo. Idammi ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayo. Idammi ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayo. May all the good karmas be shared by all the devas, nagas and mahitikas. Devas are devas, nagas are not snakes. They are another type of beings who are living near the watery places, rivers, waterfalls, oceans and all these places. And mahitikas are the powerful non-humans. They are not devas, powerful other non-humans. May all these non-human beings receive all these good karmas, share all these good karmas and bless and protect all of you. Especially Lim Kim Eng and family, Ong Sim Leng and family, Thandar Win and all the other individuals who came here today, participated in the Vihara. May all your family members and you be blessed by the Deva, Naga, Mahidika for good health, quality of life, prosperity and safety. May Deva, Naga, Mahidika also finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavatacha ammehi sambatang punya sangpadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sangpatti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammehi sambatang punya sangpadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sangpatti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sangpadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sangpatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bhummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkang tuloka sasanang. Akasattha ca bhummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkang tudesanang. Akasattha ca bhummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkang tumang paranti chirang rakkang tutwang sadati. In this sansaric journey, may we be able to be in the company of the Kalyana Mittas, noble friends, and not with the Papa Mittas. Thinking thus, we are going to make the wish. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been accumulating today be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silissa nichang baddha pachayino chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.